Gaming is an art form, a medium where you can express emotion and meaning, whether it be in story form or making a game solely to put smiles on people's faces. Games such as Red Dead Redemption 2, a story of a cowboy seeking just that, redemption.
I guess, I'm afraid.
Whereas Mario just saves a princess a billion times. But it's extremely fun to play. Both games don't go unnoticed and have their fan bases. Sometimes those fan bases can overlap. There are millions of other titles out there, and there are bound to be some games that don't have any players who find them appealing. And sure enough, there is one game published by the same company that makes the Mario titles released that fit under that roof. When I learned about Wario World's existence, it sounded awesome. The Wario Land games were some of the best platformers on the Game Boy, and giving those titles a three-dimensional fine-tuning of the likes of Mario 64 was, in my opinion, a great idea. So I decided to pick it up, and to nobody's surprise, yeah, it's a Wario game. So for starters, Wario doesn't have any power-ups, so the only thing you've got to fight enemies with are your fists. That isn't much of a problem really, because it is satisfying to punch things. Combat can get repetitive though, and if you're playing this game for more than an hour or two at a time, you can really feel it. Wario also has this ability where he can open his mouth really wide and suck coins into it, which is probably where Sakurai got the idea to make his ability in Smash Bros. Eating things. Now it might just be me not wanting to be patient enough to read things like signs, but I did have my troubles trying to figure out what to do. Like I had to Google search each and every level I played, and when I say each level, I mean every single one stumped me. Even the first world's boss, because I couldn't figure out how to kill it. And when I watched this video, it showed Wario ground pounding this guy into the ground, which I didn't even know you could do until I watched the video. So basically, through the entire game, I felt like a stupid idiot. But at least the bosses did have really unique character design, and when I say really unique, I mean it. The only other game with as much wackiness in the characters I could think of would be Luigi's Mansion. Funnily enough, you have to fight a giant baby in both these games. Considering this is a platforming game, you would think the said platforming would be intuitive, but due to the game being on this weird angle with a pretty much fixed camera, jumping from one thing to another can be really tricky, and if you miss a jump, instead of dying or losing coins, you'll be sent to the underworld and have to find this spring to get out. I thought this was a fun feature at first, but eventually it made me want to Wii remote my monitor in the face. Wario World has its flaws, but I'm wondering why I hadn't heard about it until now when I'm going into 12th grade. So I did some research and could only find how many sales the Wario franchise as a whole has accumulated. And though I could probably calculate each individual game, and through process of elimination, find how much Wario World contributed to that number, I didn't feel like going through all that, because I'm lazy. Either way, I can guesstimate and say that this game didn't do too well, probably due to the combined failure of the GameCube, which is one of Nintendo's worst selling consoles, and the fact that people who owned a GameCube would most definitely rather go out and buy Mario Sunshine and play a Mario game than one revolving around his rival. Despite the game being unheard of by the majority of people, it didn't make it necessarily a bad game. It does have its shortcomings though, like not even featuring Waluigi. But those things don't make the game not worth picking up. If you're in dire need of a new 3D Mario game but don't feel like replaying the older ones, this should quench your thirst, hopefully long enough for Nintendo to finally at least tease a new Mario game. Wario World feels like it's only scratching the surface of what a full-on 3D Wario game platformer could be. Maybe one day we'll get a game where you could take damage and power up from it like you could in Wario Land, but right now this is what we've got. Thank you for watching. I do apologize for being behind on schedule. Make sure you like and subscribe and click the bell icon so you know when I post again. I try to keep it daily for shorts and at least once a week for videos like these. I'll see you in my next video.